Hello, you most soft, kind, and illustrious members of the detail. I'm D, also known as MTF Doom, and we hit Infinite, and we're just going to talk about the deck that got me there, and what I've learned playing it. I hope you enjoy. Before we get into it, just a thank you. Thank you to everyone in Discord who supports. We post progress pics for each other as we were like ranking up. Everyone was really supportive. I hit 99 and 6 out of 7 cubes and ended up losing my way down to 97 and got pretty discouraged, but everyone was like, you know, D, you got it. Like you're here, you're right there. Just get it. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who watches. If you're just here because this deck gets results, I appreciate you too. There's literally no shade in that. I like it all. You know, if you're results goal oriented, there's something here for you. It's not necessarily the first thing I do. I always feel a little weird, like I'm bragging when I make videos like this. I always try to be very soft. There's a funny anecdote. When my wife and I first started dating, I invited her to go bowling, and I have bowled in my adult life. I bowled a lot when I was a kid. My dad was really into it, and I do okay. And we go, she's like, yeah, that sounds great. I haven't been bowling since I was a kid. And we go bowling, and I accidentally bowl the best game of my life. Like, I'm literally not trying. I start doing really well, and I start feeling bad. Like, I just invited this poor woman to just, like, get fucking obliterated. But she, you know, she was like, support. She's like, no, you're allowed to be happy. I was like, thanks. I really didn't mean to do this. I promise. I forget what I even bowled. Like a 240? I bowled something like absurd that day. It's the best I've ever bowled. Even as a fairly average bowler in my adult life, I'd never bowled something like that. So that was really fun. I feel, and this has the same, like, you too. Look at how good I am. You too could do this well if you follow my advice. That's not that. So let's get into it. All right. That was a fucking long aside, huh, D? You're really getting better at keeping things concise, you fucking goon. So it's the 19th. I'm about to record another video. Fucking spoilers. But I just wanted to hop on and do this. So, it is almost cut my hair. It is the kitty bounce deck that I previewed 2 videos ago. The major difference, the only difference, and one that I'm still not entirely sure of, is that we cut Chavez and we added Maria Hill. Of all the cards, we added Maria Hill. And, I mean, you see why, right? Like, she's a 2/3 that adds a 1 cost to your hand. So, like, she can scale the collector, and the card she gives you interacts favorably with Falcon and Beast. And, like, at worst, you just play the stupid card and then bounce it back to your hand to pop collector or Bishop or Angela. But, like, sometimes she gives you... I got Snowguard one game. That ended up winning me the game because it let me get into Death's Domain. I had... Oh, Snowguard also fucked me one game because I thought it would turn off Limbo. So I played as if Limbo wasn't going to have an effect. And then there was still a turn 7, and I was really pissed because I lost because of it. Just so you know, that's a neat little interaction. I tried Cable, just for other points of reference. I tried Cable for the info you get from your opponent, but not necessarily the card. Didn't really like it. A lot of people think Quinjet. Quinjet doesn't work the way you think it does. The only card that would be affected by Quinjet is Hood, is Demon, but it isn't because Demon already costs 1 and it can't cost less. So don't try Quinjet. Like, Beast and Falcon, do not reduce those cards. It could be Korg. I don't like Korg that much. And it could be Chavez. Like, I don't know if this was better. It just happens to be the iteration that I was on when I hit Infinite. So, especially in the mirror. So, if your opponent... Some tips. if your opponent, here's my like ceiling and floor basically. If your opponent snaps on a wave, retreat. Just get out. Like, you can't beat Sandman and you can't beat Galactus. Just leave. Those are like unbeatable. In the mirror, one of my favorite things to do is on turn 4, play Hitmonkey and then Beast in that order to put it hopefully in a lane where there's a couple other cards. It almost doesn't matter what. You can bounce your Collector, you can bounce your Bishop to replay it. But the point is, you want to get Monkey, give Monkey the +2, and then put it back in your hand and have it only cost 1 instead of 2. And in the mirror, it means that your turn 6 is usually just more explosive than your opponent. So if you suss out that it's a mirror, that's a really good way to get ahead. Trying to land Collector and Bishop in 2 different lanes, against anything that's trying to lock you out, is usually really good. I'll even usually go Collector or Bishop. Well, I guess you can't really go Bishop into unknown locations, because if something flips up that's hard to get into, having Collector or Bishop there makes it way easier. So in general, if you don't have a follow-up for Angela and you have the option between Angela and Collector and they're both kind of in a neutral space, while Angela will scale more, you want to put Angela into a location that you know is safe to deploy cards into, and you don't care about Collector. You can put that into a something that you're not sure is safe to deploy cards into, because you will you'll be able to scale him whether or not you have access to that lane. The other big ones are just, if you're going to Bast late in the game, be very aware if you have a demon or an already grown Kitty Pryde, that you want to dodge those. Sometimes it's impossible, but not always. And then in general, if you're going Bast and Maria Hill in the same turn, it's Maria Hill first in general, because most 1-drops have less than 3 power. And like, if you hit Ebony Maw, it didn't matter, you weren't playing him anyway. So just in general, Maria Hill first, then Bast. So keep all that in mind. And then in general, it's Snap if you have like Kitty Pryde, Angela, and 2 lanes that you can play into. You're really good at winning 2 lanes. You're really good at making it hard for your opponent to decide what lanes to fight for. That's like one of the biggest advantages this deck has, I've noticed, and being able to pivot because of Beast. The ability to, like, okay, your opponent abandoned a lane, just straight up abandoned it. You pick Angela up and go to a different lane. Like, all right, well, okay, we'll fight you over there. That's fine. Here's my 12 power Angela. She only costs 1 because I Beast back to my hand. That's one of the biggest advantages of this deck. Overall, if you don't get into a restrictive location, it's just out. And a lot of times you just have to believe your opponent's Snap. If a Sanctum comes up, or the castle that doesn't allow anything but 6-drops or whatever, if that flips and your opponent snaps, you just believe them. Just believe them and be out. It's totally fine. You are not trying to win those games. It's not worth trying to win those games, and you aren't going to do it. That's it. That's what I've learned. That's what brought me to Infinite. Don't be too afraid of snapping, seeing 2 locations, because even if the third one's very restrictive, as long as you have 2 that you can play out, you're like, okay, play 3 cards and then bounce them, and then, like, based on what your hand is. If it's like, I don't know, Mysterio Bast something, maybe you don't play it out or like snap on it. But if you have, in general, your Collector, your Bishop, and your Angela are all going to be bigger than almost anything another deck is doing, right? If their plan is to, like, Magneto or something, you're just like, yeah, fine, whatever. Like, I Magneto for breakfast, homie. You don't got this. Yeah, that's it. All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna be recording in a little bit. That one will come out later, probably. It's Friday now. I think I might even get this one out today. That one will probably come out tomorrow, Saturday, but we'll see. Don't hold me to that. Don't, yeah. All right. I hope you found this content elucidating, enlightening, or enriching. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.